Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm coming to you guys from my quarantine isolation bedroom. And before I go too far, I do see the light hanging up over here. This is not for anything suspect. It's for tonal content that you guys have seen on the channel. I kind of rigged up a permanent lighting setup, which I owe an update on that tonal. I'll get to it after I'm feeling better because I do have COVID. So I wanted to kind of make a video talking about my experience with COVID. I wasn't going to, but now that I'm feeling better today and I really wasn't able to film a video that is typical for this channel, I decided to just kind of talk about, I guess, this experience. Last weekend I didn't have a video because my wife was out of town, and with her being out of town, it was just me and my daughter, and that is just a whole lot of work in and of itself. So getting COVID this week was obviously not planned, but I will say I am vaccinated, and I'm not here to tell anybody else what to do. I don't want to make that video, and I don't want to make this video come across as if I am, but I'm going to explain to you guys why I made my decision to get vaccinated, and it's really quite simple. About a year ago, we actually lost a guy my age at work. I had just met him a few days before he went out, and he ended up in the ICU for quite a while, and he didn't make it. So being that he was my age and he had two young kids, it's just one of those things that I reconciled pretty early on with the idea of, as soon as there was a vaccine, regardless of really knowing much about it, that if there's a potential of me being on my deathbed and having to weigh the consequences of not getting that vaccine, to me it was just very heavy to be thinking about a situation where you don't do something and then you're on your deathbed and you really regret that decision. I have a 5-year-old, and I just decided that the risks of whatever this vaccine was, risk-reward kind of thing. And to really, put it in perspective, I just read a story earlier this week before I even knew that I had COVID of Mark Hamister from Buffalo, New York, which happens to be my hometown, so I knew the name, is a wealthy businessman, just passed away of COVID, and sure enough,
Mark Hamister spent his last days in a hospital bed filled with regret.
That was something early on I decided I did not want to deal with, so I did go and get that. So again, do what you will. This is not a you have to get your vaccine or not. I really, again, I'm not in the position to try to tell people what to do with themselves, but I'm just explaining to you why I did what I did. So my experience with COVID, this has been part of the annoyance of isolation, is that, get in here. The dog does not know what to do with himself. Get in here. He's also scared of the camera. Come here. Yeah, there you go. Lay down. He's managing. He's just a huge pain in the ass. So my experience with COVID is that I didn't know that I had it, obviously, when I had it, but now looking back on it, hindsight, you can kind of start piecing it together. A couple weeks ago, I had started to sneeze a lot, and I just kind of associated that with allergies because here in Arizona, I have pretty bad allergies. Never really had them that bad till I moved here. So I just thought that I had allergies kind of kicking up, and I started taking Claritin, but the sneezing was still there, and I probably should have noticed that the Claritin wasn't working like it normally does, but I didn't. I was just kind of living life as one does. So Tuesday, I started actually coughing real bad. And again, I sort of excused that away because I had just got done spraying pesticides, trying to chase scorpions, part of living in Arizona. Started spraying pesticides in the garage, and for the first few minutes, I wasn't wearing a respirator. And later that night, I felt like the tightness in my chest a little difficulty breathing with some coughing. And I had just associated that with, again, the pesticides, maybe breathing some stuff in that I shouldn't have. It wasn't until Wednesday. I woke up, I felt fine, but I got to work Wednesday, and mid-morning I just didn't feel right. But by afternoon, I knew that something was wrong. So I just came home. I didn't even say anything. I just basically left work, came home, laid down, and that night when my wife came home, I didn't even realize we had these, but she had already bought these COVID self-testing kits. So I took that test, and sure enough, it came back positive. I knew. You could feel it, the tightness in the chest, the exhaustion, the headache, the fever set in, all of that stuff. So when I took the test, I wasn't surprised. So I slept all night Wednesday, took some Tylenol to manage the fever and the headache. Woke up Thursday feeling like absolute trash, and slept pretty much all day Thursday. I didn't get out of bed aside from, a couple trips back and forth, bathroom. I was drinking a ton of water just to stay hydrated, so that also kept me up and, back and forth to the bathroom, which was good. But again, pretty much lethargic all day Thursday. Also spiked a fever then again Thursday night. Took some Tylenol and passed out for the night. Now Friday, I woke up feeling better. Still had a headache, no fever, but decided not to take any Tylenol because part of getting back to normal, they say, is that after 24 hours of not spiking a fever and 10 days from when you first started having symptoms, that you can end self-isolation. So I intentionally did not take any Tylenol because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't running a fever without taking any medication. So I made it through Friday. Again, in the morning I felt pretty bad, but by the afternoon I was up kind of pacing around the bedroom and up and moving around. So this morning, Saturday, I woke up, felt pretty much fine. I say that, but still like body soreness, a bit of a lingering cough, but just kind of had my wits about me, able to get up and move around, and occasionally put a mask on and kind of walk through the house to get myself some food. But I am trying very hard to stay isolated in this room, at least I think until tomorrow, because backdating when that sneeze started, combined with the 24 hours, I think I'm pretty much right at that 10 days. I should be probably pretty good to go without spreading it to the family. The wife is also vaccinated, so I don't know, man. It's a lot to navigate. This whole COVID thing has been a mess, not only from people, politically bickering back and forth about what they should and shouldn't do. I knew as soon as I posted, and I'm sure the comment section in this video will be full of everybody telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and I find it to be pretty ridiculous. I mean, everybody just do what you think you need to do, I guess, and more importantly, stop barking at each other. So I just wanted to share with you guys that I had a pretty gnarly couple days holed up in this bedroom, just trying to kind of ride it out. Personally, I'm happy that I had the vaccine. Whether it worked or not, I don't really know, but I'll say it did just because it makes me feel better. Aside from that, I'm happy I didn't have to go to the hospital or, have it get any more serious than what it did. But I don't know if you can even hear now. I'm a little bit of labored breathing, but hopefully I'll be back to normal here soon. So with that being said, I hope to get back to some regular content here in the near future. With that being said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I'll see you guys next time.